channel. It is another episode of It's All Black and White, episode 16 of the season, Walsall away. An absolutely huge game for a number of reasons. Not less the defeat against Peterborough, which could have potentially set up an FA Cup tie with a side such as Everton. I'm not going to say it would definitely have been Everton, because I think circumstances would be different in the draw if we'd have got through. But you know, we all know what happened on Saturday. We all know that Stuart Maynard obviously took players off with tonight in mind, and I'm obviously filming this 4 hours before kick-off. I think it's added a lot of pressure, and we really need to get a result tonight. Even, you know, forgetting about the league position and what this would do for a team above us pulling away from us, I think that there's added pressure now that we really need to get a result. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Heading to Walsall in about an hour and a half, 2 hours time. I'm going to pick up Jordan. We're going to have a big chat about everything I've just mentioned in that FA Cup game and you know, whether there's added pressure on it. But a massive game this evening. Before we get started with today's video then and heading to Walsall for this game, couple of things you might have seen in our socials. We have announced that we are having George Abbott on the channel. Absolutely delighted to have him on. We'll be filming next week with him, so any questions you've got, drop them down in the comment section. We cannot wait to have him on. We cannot wait to interview him for another one of our in-depth episodes, so keep an eye out for that. And secondly, if you're a regular viewer of the podcast and the Thursday Paper Perspectives, you will know that we have been teasing for a few weeks a giveaway for some of our merchandise that we've had requests for. The mugs, so we've got the standard Notts County Talk mug going to be given away on Thursday. Yeah, that's sort of the one we've been going for. We've got a few surprises this time. We've also got an away shirt themed one, which is obviously orange handle, orange interior, and then we've had to go for a third shirt themed one as well, which Notts will be playing in this evening at Walsall. So if you want to be in a chance of winning one of these, subscribe to the channel and join us on Thursday night. We'll give away all three of these mugs, and then maybe a few extras available as well. Just waiting for Jordan then, picking him up, and then Walsall is looking like a little bit of a difficult drive with some traffic, but we'll definitely get there for kick-off. Well, touch wood, we'll get there for kick-off. I'll get his thoughts when I pick him up about the situation with the substitutes, like I said, against Peterborough, but then also how big tonight's game is.
The tendencies don't really change.
Well, team news is out just as we've left the car. Oh my goodness me.
It's a bit of a shocker.
Hinchy starts, Ness starts, Cisse starts, which I'm not too displeased about. I think he deserves an opportunity.
Yeah.
No Abbott, no Platt. I said at the end of the video on Saturday, I think it could be a bit of a disaster. The game on Saturday, and it has turned out to be an absolute disaster. First of all, I'd said I'll get your thoughts on this substitution thing. What do you reckon?
Well, if you look at it from a point of view as well, we've lost Abbott and Platt for injury. Well, if we didn't make the subs, could we have lost more? So you've got to look at it. Our squad's really thin.
Mate, I was saying from sort of 70 minutes on, Abbott's limping.
Yeah.
And they've carried on playing him.
Our squad is really thin, and this just proves it. I think Hinchy wouldn't really be...
Did play okay Saturday.
Okay, but normally I wouldn't think he'd be that close to the first team. I'm not sure, but I am looking forward to Cisse. He looked bright when he came on at home against Newport. Offers something different, and it's a chance for him to impress. First league start, I think, maybe. But yeah, Hinchy, to change my mind on him, hopefully. And we'll see how things pan out. But I think it's quite an attacking lineup in terms of Jatta and McGoldrick on there.
How difficult tonight now is a win?
Yeah, that makes it considerably more difficult.
Right now, you're taking a draw.
Yeah, and I'm probably expecting us to lose. I know that sounds really bad, but I mean, I was already thinking it's a tough fixture anyway, regardless of who we put on there. If we put our strongest lineup, it's still a tough fixture. So
I think if Abbott and Platt are long term, or even more than 3 weeks, because that would take us to post Christmas, I think that there's a very strong chance that this season could be derailed for injuries.
Yeah, but let's not think like that. Let's
I
not.
know, but look,
I think Platt's probably more serious than Abbott. Abbott,
yeah.
if it's just like contact injury, maybe it's just dead leg or whatever, then you don't know. I mean, like, it's difficult because they don't obviously say much about injuries, but I'd rather try and be positive.
I'm going 1-1 tonight.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, looking forward to seeing some players maybe that wouldn't normally play, and just got to enjoy it for what it is.
good start for Notts, good tempo. We're only 5 minutes in, coming at 5 minutes in. Good tempo, won the ball back very quickly, just forced another error from them. Cerula, for me, has started the game the best for Notts. But yeah, can we keep this up? That's really the challenge. Quarter to Notts, just under 13 minutes in. Matty Palmer stood over it. Still not a lot has happened. Just one shot from the end of the box for Walsall. It's flash wide. Palmer puts it in. Is that in? Oh, yeah, I think that went top of the net, and it looked like it had gone in, but the ref's given a free kick to Walsall. Not much has happened. Not to work a promising position, but it feels very much like Newport. It feels very much like Crewe, where we're just not getting a shot away in. There's a lot of players in front of the ball and blocking shots. You can hear the boos because Notts in a promising position. One of their players was down, holding his head, and he's straight back up as soon as Notts have the play stopped. Yeah,
It's not in an obvious way, but there's little things that he's doing that.
well, that's not. Everyone's back in position for them now.
Yeah, it's just been a bit soft towards Walsall and letting them get away with a few things.
The pull back on the halfway line has to be yellow.
Yeah, and the holding on Jota as well. Like when a player's not going to play a ball, it should be a booking, and it's not booked in at all. It's going to carry on.
Walsall number 3 flashed it wide moments after a ref missed a handball decision in the box. It was clear as day, but he's not giving it, and then they go through. First shot's blocked, and then looked from where I was to be pretty close to going in. Still 0-0, 32. Gives that one in to flash it across.
Yeah.
Gives it to Jata and he rolls it across. I don't know if he was trying to have a shooting.
He made up for that little slip in the box earlier. Just couldn't get the rebound from the keeper. I think it was a good save, but yeah. Came alive a bit there.
That's Cerula taking the corner. Can't see because there's post in the way. But anyway, Nick Cerula swings it in. Really, really, really poor. And let's just hope they don't break from it, a bit like Crewe did. Free kick again. Half time, it's Walsall 0, Notts 0. Really not a lot to talk about. They've probably just edged it a little bit. They've had a couple of chances. We've done some pretty good blocks, some good defending. We had a great chance in the 43rd minute. Didsey rolled it into Jati, who put it across goal. I think he was trying to have a shot, but it was scuffed. But no, not an awful lot has happened. Will we be happy going to half time 0-0? Most definitely. Seeing some of the other results around. Obviously MK beating Chesterfield, which is, they're going to be up there at the end of the season. Come out second half, see if we can stay the same. We're shooting towards the away fans. Maybe nick something. Would I take this 0-0 right now? Yeah. Haven't massively impressed with Walsall? No. Haven't massively impressed with Notts? No. But, we've got a lot of players out injured and a bench that I'm not sure how much it can affect it. We'll see what happens in the second half. 0-0. Efforts, couple blocked and a save as Jata got through. Sam Austin had 2 opportunities. Oh, one of them was going in. It was headed away. Corner for Notts. That's really, really positive. Less than 2 minutes into the second half. Come on. Just comes to the edge. Did he hit it? Oh! Just over the bar, but really good. Not as pressing and probing again. Nick Cerula this time sees an effort at goal, flicked over the bar by Walsall header. Cisse taking the corner. He's going to go short to Matty Palmer because there's an overload there with Cerula. They've gone all the way to Dizzy, hits it. He curls one. Oh, it's hit wide. It's hit wide. Oh my goodness me. Some great pressure from Notts, but we just can't put it in the back of the net. Another corner. Sums up Notts' look this season. It's gone straight in from a corner. A few players complaining to the ref. I think that someone was pushed. I'm too far away to see it. That's why I don't have a clue. So much against someone to play second half anyway. So disappointing. Kellen Gordon on for Cisse. Yeah, 1-0 Walsall.
Where's the midfield there? Midfield's gone missing. They're smelling blood now.
2-0, probably game done. Penalty for Notts. Macari was brought down. Actually, really, really good play. At the least, we deserve a goal. If this doesn't go in, I don't think we'll have a score again. Didsey. Oh, come on.
Missing.
Yeah! Get in! 2-1. 20 to go without a time. Full of end-to-end chances. Bedu gave it away, but then got back to clear it. Scott Robertson did look like he was coming on, but then he's put a bib back on and looks to be sat down. He might come on in a minute. I think, George, what do you think? I think we're valued for a draw here, mate.
Yeah, we are. I think was a bit unlucky with the corner goal. Good play by them led to the box goal, but overall we played really well today.
We have. I'm just worried the game's going to sort of peter out now, and they're going to stop the ball as much as possible.
When you're 1-0, one score down, and it's going to the end of a game, it's always difficult to get hold of the ball and stop them from time wasting.
Gordon whips a ball in. They've cleared it. Well, let's be first to this, and we're not. We're not first. We've let them control the ball on the edge of their box, and it's a straight race. Ness is going to win it and give it back to Bass. That's a really poor ball.
They need it. Why do they need it?
Oh my gosh. Bass has cleared it straight to them. They're going to score here. They're going to score. Straight through to Albert Adoma. Put across. 3-1. 3-1.
Okay, that was a 1-4 thing.
3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Hinchy's put a great one in the bottom corner, cut across the ball, it goes bottom corner. I don't know if there'll be enough time left, to be honest. You've just got to get it forward, pump the ball forward, get people in the box, try and get Jazz head on it, even put Ness up there. Yeah, better. It's nearly too little too late though. Darula nearly puts it top corner and their keeper has made an unbelievable save. 95 on the clock. Corner to NOTTS. What an unbelievable save. What an effort from Darula as well. Patty Palmer put it in. Bass is coming up with 2 minutes left still. Bedu misses it. Come out to Didsey. Go back out wide. He has. Gordon, move for him. Whips one in, it's deflected, and they clear it. Full-time and player ratings, it's finished Walsall 3, NOTTS 2. We're going to keep this really short because we want to get back to Nottingham. It is cold and we've lost. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, we'll keep this short. I'm going to give Bass a rating that I didn't think I'd give Alex Bass, but I'm also not going to give Alex Bass a higher rating just because I think he's an amazing goalkeeper. I'm going to rate it on one game. Alex Bass. I'm going to go for a 5. I'll be honest, I'm too far away to see what happens. It looks like it loops over and he doesn't judge it correctly, and then he passes it straight to their player 3 times this game. One of them is, I know he told to play like that, but for me, it's not had a good performance. So for me, it's a 5.
5.5 for me. I think you're right there. You're spot on. And I don't think there was enough that he could have got to make his score better, his rating better.
I mean, he made some saves, but the rest of the saves were routine.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that he could have done that would bump his score up, but there was stuff that he did that definitely bumped it down, or put it down.
Let's quickly go through the defence then. Macari, I'm going to give a 6. Nothing outstanding, and he was in a defence that conceded 3 goals. Albeit, like I've said, the first goal is not a defensive error, really. It's looped straight in, and the second goal, everyone's out of position. The third goal, everyone's out of position because of the poor pass.
I don't think he can take much blame with the goals today, so I'm going to go 6.5. I think he did what he needed to do well.
Lucas Ness?
For their last goal, he knees it back to Bass, which does make it a bit more difficult, which is a bit, that takes a bit away from me. I was going to give him maybe a 7.5, which is high for a defender who's conceded that many. 7 just about, because I feel like there was a lot of pressure on him coming in to take Platt's role, and he actually did play quite well for the most part, apart from that one thing. Really.
I'm going to go 6. I mean, for me, his in defence has conceded 3. Yeah.
I'm looking at individual performance.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not been bad, and he has come in for Matty Platt, who was a miss, wasn't he? Bedu, I think, has to do a lot of work first off because Cisse on that side. Did the Cisse experiment work? No.
No.
Not in my opinion. But I mean, what does that say? What does that say about Kellen Gordon? if
Yeah,
he's starting
it-
Cisse over Gordon.
Yeah.
What?
And it took a while until he did make that change as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I just don't feel like people confident to give Cisse the ball, but we're on Bedu, aren't we? So I'm going to give Bedu I'm going to give him a 6.5. I think attacking wise, he did a lot, but he was having to do the work of a wing back as well.
yeah, 6.5 for me as well.
Let's go to Matty Palmer. For me, very good performance. You're going to see a bit of a pattern here where I'm not going to give very high ratings. We lost 3-2. I'm going to give a 7.5, and that will probably be up there with one of my higher ratings. He looks good. He's getting better every game. Again, I'd like to see him when Dan Crowley, if Dan Crowley's back, and how they play, because I think now the way Matty Palmer's back playing, if or when Dan Crowley comes back, let Dan Crowley just stay up and do the job Sam Austin was kind of doing today.
Yeah, I think 7.5 as well, because Palmer had to cover a lot of ground today. I think he had to do a lot. For others, I don't think Hinchy really was in the game that much in the first half, and you could tell Palmer had ran a lot.
Yeah,
he ran a lot today. And yeah, everything that he could do to affect the game, he did. Defensively, I think the midfield was a bit missing at times on the edge of the box, but Palmer can't be everywhere.
Matty
so.
Palmer of old is definitely coming back.
Yeah.
Let's go for Hinchy then. Scores an absolutely great goal. The first shot from outside the box for about 4 or 5 games that wasn't blocked.
Yeah, it was a great finish. To be fair, he took it really well.
I don't think he did much first half.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I'm aware, sometimes players don't do a lot but are still effective. Like, you just don't see what they're doing.
I don't think he got on the ball.
No, I was going to give him a 5.5. His goal was really good goal.
6.5?
I'm going to go 6.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Sam Austin. I'm going to go for now. 6. I don't really say much about Sam Austin's performance, and that's
He gave his all.
by me. Yeah,
but
by me not saying a lot says a lot.
Yeah,
He's just not. Nah. Cisse, I think, brilliant for Notts to play him, and an opportunity from a player from the academy. But that's the position we're in right now. We shouldn't like that. That sums up Notts' position as well.
I think you could see, like, physically, in terms of the difference between like men's football and youth football. I think against a team who are very physical, strong, tall, it was always going to be difficult to break them down. But I will say there was times where he put in a great tackle on the outside of the box first half.
He did.
And that was really good. He always gives everything.
Yeah.
And he was making good runs. I just think it was a tough night for him because of who he was coming up against.
In the circumstance, I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah.
Goes to the other side, Nick Cerula, 7.5 for me, and I thought it was very, very good, very good. But I'm not going to give more than 7.5. Maybe if I'm looking at a player that's going to creep up, he could have been an 8. His effort in the last minute would have bumped him up to an 8.5, 9. Somehow their keeper makes the save.
Yeah.
And again, I know I've said this phrase a lot. Summing up Notts, our most creative player was a wing back.
Yeah, and I think that sums up where we are in terms of injuries and stuff as well. I think we're relying a lot on Cerula at wing back to create things, and if you've only got him to really do that, I know Didsey does a lot of creating as well, but in terms of our players that would normally stand out, if you're saying Cerula's a standout creative player, and there's not much else that you can say was created, that shows where we're at in terms of where the team is at the moment.
Didsey scores the penalty. I thought was good. I thought he created a lot. He did a lot. 7 for me.
7 for me as well.
Yeah, and then Jatta.
7 for me.
I think he scored it last
The
season.
way he held up the ball a lot, brought it down, kept his defenders off him all game. He did really well. I think all areas of game, passing, touches to laying it off, getting good positions.
Yeah.
One of his better games just didn't get a goal, but I think that wasn't his fault. I don't think there was much he could really do else.
Then that brings us to the subs then. What subs we had? Scott Robertson on the bench, looked like he was going to come on, and then we decided not to put him on. Kevin Scott, kind of forgot he was playing. 6, but...
He came on quite late there, didn't he?
Yeah, but what he did do, the limit things he did well.
Yeah.
Like, he got his passes out wide, he won the ball. And I think, unless I'm wrong, the only other substitution was Kellen Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in the stand thinking I'm giving Gordon a 5. And then just towards the end of the game, he started to put a few crosses in, and his pace that I need to see more of did start to kind of have a bit of an impact. Look, it wasn't a performance that's going to get him a start, although it might do through injuries. I'm going to give a 6. Some people might think that's a bit high. Maybe people think it's low.
Yeah, I think 6 as well. I think sometimes I just want him to make that run a little bit earlier, but he did try and take his man on at times, which I haven't seen much of before. And he did put some in all right crosses, but I do get frustrated because he puts them behind the players a lot of the time or in that area, and I want them to be in front so they can attack it. But yeah. 6.
As player ratings, George, cheers for going through those with me. Obviously disappointing. Everyone can have their own opinion on what's going on at the minute, and that's fine. My opinion is the season is going to be derailed through injuries. There's opinions on Maynard and how things are going. Some of the performances haven't been good this season. Some have been good. But my personal opinion, I don't think he can be fairly judged on a team, for example, today that's missing Jody Jones, Dan Crowley, Curtis Edwards, Matty Platt, Grant, Abbott. I think it's massively difficult task. I still believe in this squad this season. I think we've fallen out of the playoffs. I just don't think he has had really anything to work with. What really does get me about this league this season is, and this is not me if you're a Walsall fan watching this being bitter about Walsall, there's not one team yet I've watched this season I've thought, blimey, they were good. I mentioned Swindon's name a few times. We were poor there. That's the reason they were so good. But and I think we'll come up against a team that I will say, wow, they've been really good on Boxing Day against MK Dons at their place. But there's not a team this season where I thought, wow, they've really blown us away. Losses to Gillingham, should have beaten Gillingham. Port Vale should have at least got a draw tonight. I think any of those sides, I think Gillingham is the exception because we did have almost full strength. But any game since Gillingham, we go full strength. I think we probably win tonight full strength. I think Crewe, we have a much better opportunity of winning that. Newport, we comfortably beat Newport. So I'm very, very disappointed. I still believe in this squad this season. I'm personally still Maynard in. Let me know in the comments if you're Maynard out. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, whatever. Let me know your reasons for him being in or out. I don't think he'll be gone at all. I think the brothers will stick with him. I think we're in for a rough patch until January. Unless Notts are bluffing with their injuries and Jody, Edwards, Grant are back in January. I think we're in for a really, really rough few weeks, especially 26th of December, 29th of December, New Year's Day, 4th of Jan, they come very quick, and some of those are tricky games. MK Dons, Cheltenham away, who I believe drew with Port Vale today. So, yeah, very, very difficult. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your player ratings. Let me know what you thought of the game, if you watched it, if you listened to it, if you're at the ground. Yeah, I'm really interested to see your opinions. We go again on Saturday against Colchester, who I think won 4-0 against Swindon last I checked. Yeah, in terms of mood amongst fans, that has to be a win, and it can't be a scraped victory. It has to be a really, really convincing victory. Safe travels home to anyone that has come to the game, and let me know your thoughts.